direction. The noticeable development from diversity to uniformity, from which the unified society visions were extrapolated, seems to have stopped just a few decades ago. Actually, the last 20 years have witnessed an increasing fragmentation and strong tendencies to defend and preserve smaller languages as a core part of national or ethnic identity. The number of countries in Europe has significantly increased. The European Union has, for the first time in human history, offered a powerful model of integration that builds on equal rights for all its national languages and cultures. Since this model offers a fair chance for large parts of the world to economically compete with a predominantly monolingual powers such as the US, China, and Japan, it is not only welcomed in Europe, but also sympathetically monitored in other parts of the world, such as in Africa or Southeast Asia. Linguistic diversity has been recognized as a central asset of the integrating European society, but it is also becoming one of its economic burdens. Without considerably improved language technologies for translating technical documentations, consumer information, regulations, news, political documents, many other types of texts, we will simply not be able to financially afford the unified market, the community patent, harmonized social policies, free mobility of goods, information, and people, and all these things. It's simply not affordable because there are already 23 languages, official languages, 57 in total, and the 23 official languages give already 506 translation directions. Yeah, that cannot be handled anymore. So the challenge is not only to overcome the language boundaries by so-called cross-lingual technologies that facilitate the free flow of knowledge and thought across the European information society. The challenge is also, and this is also important for the Maltese language community, to provide, because you speak all English very well, yeah, so your problem is not so much not to pick up the thought of other countries. Yeah? But the challenge is also to provide each language community with the most advanced technologies for their own language, so that especially for smaller language communities, the preservation of their own language in daily life does not turn into a dangerous competitive disadvantage. Besides localized software products, this includes authoring, publishing systems, spell, grammar, style checkers, language learning software, as well as speech understanding, speech generation for voice interfaces. Now we are back to our voice interfaces. Here we are back to communication between people on one side and technology on the other. Will a Finnish tourist be able to understand what a Maltesian building has to tell her? When I buy a Korean massage chair, will I be able to ask it about its warranty conditions? Google has published the first software product that performs speech-to-speech translation. I mean, they are not the only ones to work on it. We have worked on it for many years, but they have now put it out into the open. Soon we will be able to use this facility for all 57 or so languages in which Google translates currently. Yeah? So then you can, but it's completely full of errors, as you can imagine. This and eventually better programs will free the Maltesian historian to enter all the facts about the building in Finnish. Many computer scientists believe that the Internet of Things, as it is called, will enable objects to behave better if they can get proper information from other objects. The refrigerator will talk to the shopping list, the front door will let everything in the house know when the owner is gone, so that, for instance, the teapot, hot plate can be switched off automatically and so on. Yeah? So those are just the simplified visions that computer scientists use to talk to non-specialists. Yeah, of course there are others, more sophisticated ones. Many of the examples cited in recent papers on this matter are rather artificial and academic, others are more convincing. For such kinds of cooperative behavior, a certain degree of autonomy is inevitable. Will language, or which language will these things use for communicating with each other? Many experts say it has to be the human language instead of some efficient, non-ambiguous formal protocol language. Otherwise, humans cannot monitor such communication and they may just be unable to understand some unforeseen results. If this is so, we have to ask, which human language does my teapot talk into? Yeah? In my own? Yeah? Of course, the language of the user. Okay, what a relief. Then we don't have to think which language we could leave out, because there are users in every language. Okay. So it's an easy task. It's only a couple of thousand languages. Although there are many examples of very promising applications, I won't concentrate on the reasonable proposals because I do not want to finish the speech as serious as I started. Let's observe that the talking, networked objects do not need a loudspeaker or a microphone, since we have these in our mobile phone. Yeah? So that I showed already that it's not needed. Yeah? It's not that the spoon doesn't have to be a loudspeaker. I can talk to the spoon via my mobile phone, just as I did now to the building here. So, the objects do not need a processor or a physical memory either, since these are provided somewhere on the internet under their URL. So how do I establish the connection between the things and their virtual identity? For immobile objects, it's easy. I can use their locations detected by the smartphone, directed at the playing thing knows where I am. So easy in this building here. So for others, I could use a barcode, or more fancy, the ubiquitous RFID chips that will soon be in every product and package anyway. Yeah, they will be there, easy to. So by a combination of several technological innovations, we can animate the dead elements in our surroundings in a powerful and attractive way, in many attractive ways that extend far beyond the imaginations of not only animist hunters and gatherers, but also of any generation before us. Let me add one more functionality, starting with the question of how much knowledge do the animated objects need, or how much knowledge could they get? For a massive multi-user online game, we have developed just recently a barkeeper that knows, it's not a real barkeeper, it's a virtual person, yeah, that knows trivia facts about celebrities. Since we had collected through other means, language technology, a database of more than 500,000 famous people, we gave this virtual barkeeper access to the entire database. Now he cannot only recite all girlfriends of Robbie Williams, quite a list, the sexual orientation of David Bowie, the birth date of Angela Merkel, but also the academic advisor of Albert Einstein. Yeah, you can use it. You can really ask it. We have shown it many times. It is a very entertaining barman, always bragging with his knowledge, so that this application may be more useless than a coat hanger, but surely more fun. We could have given this entire knowledge also to the painted Mona Lisa, or to a bar stool, or to an empty milk bottle. Doesn't matter, yeah, whether it's because it's easy to connect then, yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, the possible combinations are endless. We could have spoons that can talk about swine flu in Swiss German, knives that sing Russian folk songs, and forks that translate between them and otherwise only watch their own weight. All utterly useless. The only promising application ideas I had to delete from the speech manuscript, as they have not been patented yet. We could have spoons that can talk about, yeah, but I'm certain, no, something else, but I'm certain you do not need any such ideas anyway. Now talking to the graduates, you don't need these ideas, not from me here now. You will just need the courage, determination, and inspiration to apply whatever you remember from your studies for creating completely new things. The ideas will come by itself. They will come from you or from your bosses. Turning them into reality will be the real challenge. And two things are sure. First, you will need not everything, but a lot of what you have learned. And second, it won't be enough. Your success will be determined by how well you will be able to apply your knowledge, but also by how well you will be able to detect when you have to improvise, to learn more, or to discover new things. On behalf of the entire consortium of the Erasmus Mundus program of language and communication technology, that means presenting here the faculty and staff of all participating universities, we thank you very much for having been such wonderful students. We thank you for having chosen our field and program. Yeah, fly our airline again. We thank you for successfully completing a demanding course of studies. We wish you a successful, joyful, and rewarding career. We hope that even after many years in professional life, you will still find our field as exciting as we do, who we have worked in the field for a long time. For the ones among you who will later move into other career paths, such as higher management, education, public administration, whatever you like, we wish that you will keep fond memories of the field you started out from. But before I become even more sentimental at that point, I end up just by handing over to my co-director, Valia Cordoni. And I'm looking forward to giving you your supplement awards later and shaking your hands all in person. Thank you very much.
Dr. Evangelia Cordoni is now going to address this gathering.
Good afternoon. Chancellor, Rector, members, registrar, members of the academic staff, distinguished scholars from abroad, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us today for the graduation of the students of the first cohort of the Erasmus Mundus Master's Program in Language and Communication Technologies. We, the coordinators, my director, Professor Hans Uskoreit, myself, and the partners, representatives of whom we have here among us today, from all the universities of the LCT consortium, cannot be anything else but proud today. We are proud of our students who graduate today having completed the requirements of the very demanding academically Erasmus Mundus program in Language and Communication Technologies, which, as my director, Professor Uskoreit, said, requires from them to be in 2 universities, in 2 years, fulfilling all the academic requirements of the host universities for the 2 years, but also providing them the unique chance to come to contact and get to know 2 different European cultures. And this is something that is unique in this program, that is something that is unique in the Erasmus Mundus program. That people finally, not only people from outside Europe, but also from now onwards, European students move around in what we want to believe is going to be our common village in the future, Europe, and get to know people, get to know the languages, get to know the cultures. This is something that is absolutely unique and something that none of us before could offer to so many students as we do now. Before extending my warm congratulations to our students for graduating today, I want to thank very kindly, first of all our partner universities, which with their academic excellence make this program unique, promoting language and communication technologies the way that Professor Uskoreit described them, worldwide, through the excellent education they offer to the students. Thank you very much. I also want to thank very kindly the scholars who come every year from all around the world and support us and show us ways to become even better than we are in the excellent programs that we are offering. Some of them we have among us here today. People from all over the world. Today we have our colleagues from Stanford University, Professor Martin Kay, Dr. Dan Flickinger, also from the Technion, from the University of Haifa, from the University of Haifa in Israel, Dr. Shuli Pintner. Thank you very much. I also want to heartily thank the Chancellor and the Rector of the University of Malta for the constant support that the University of Malta has offered us throughout the years with this program. I was asked